If you have a habit of pulling away right when a relationship gets close, this video is for you. You might shut down, you might go quiet, or you might feel trapped by intimacy, even with people you deeply care about. And then later, you feel lonely or confused because a part of you truly does want connection. In this video, I'm going to explain what avoidant attachment is, why it makes sense to your nervous system, and how I use acceptance and commitment therapy, also known as ACT, to help you build secure connection without losing your independence. Hi, I'm Dr. Sheila Vidal. I offer ACT-based trauma-informed guidance to help you better understand your mind and navigate stress with clarity and confidence. If you happen to be dealing with one of life's challenges right now, you're in the right place. Before we begin today, this is educational, not therapy, and not a substitute for professional care. If you're in crisis or feel unsafe, please contact your local emergency services or a crisis line in your area. Avoidant attachment is a learned protective pattern. It develops when closeness once felt overwhelming or even unsafe. And because it's learned, it can also change through awareness, pacing, and values-guided action. Acceptance and commitment therapy is one evidence-based approach that can support this change. Now let's define what we're talking about. Avoidant attachment is not a dysfunction. It's often a highly intelligent adaptation that developed for very understandable reasons. For some people early in life, closeness didn't feel consistently soothing. It may have felt overwhelming, unpredictable, emotionally demanding, or simply unavailable. So your nervous system did what nervous systems are designed to do. It adapted. It learned that the safest way to maintain stability was to rely primarily on yourself. Over time, though, independence stopped being just a strength, and it becomes a form of protection. And that protection can operate automatically, often outside of conscious awareness. In many ways, what once helped you cope may now quietly limit the depth of connection you want. So today, when someone begins to get emotionally close, your body may register that closeness as a potential threat, even if your thinking mind knows the relationship is safe. You might notice an internal alarm, a pull toward distance, or an urge to regain emotional equilibrium by stepping back. Not because you don't care, not because you're incapable of connection, but because your nervous system is trying to protect you in the only way it once knew how. You may not be consciously thinking, I'm avoiding closeness. Instead, it can show up in far more subtle ways. Perhaps you value independence so deeply that asking for support feels uncomfortable, even when you need it. You might notice yourself retreating when relationships begin to require more emotional presence, or feel a quiet urge to create space when someone wants to get closer. Many people with avoidant attachment patterns are highly capable, thoughtful, and self-reliant. Others may even experience these people as strong and steady. The main takeaway here is that internally, closeness registers as pressure rather than comfort. And over time, this protective distance can begin to shape relationships in ways that feel confusing, even to you. Let's look at how this happens in real time using the ACT framework. It often begins with a protective story. Maybe your mind says that depending on someone sets you up for disappointment, or that you're better off alone. That story triggers an urge. You feel a physical need to check out, push people away, or shut down emotionally. In ACT, we might call this moving away from your values or moving away from the things that matter most to you. These behaviors lower anxiety in the moment, but it comes at a high price. It costs you the connection you're actually seeking. An ACT approach wouldn't be to try to force you to be a different person. Instead, the work focuses on creating what we call a choice point, a moment of awareness where you can notice a protective urge to pull away and decide whether that move brings you closer to or farther from the kind of relationship you want. For instance, you might notice the familiar urge to emotionally step back. And in that moment, ask yourself, is this protection helping the relationship or is it quietly limiting it? So rather than automatically following the familiar urge to withdraw, we'd practice some core ACT skills. Skill 1, diffusion. Diffusion means noticing thoughts like, I don't need anyone, or I need to get out of here, and recognizing the thoughts as thoughts, not as commands or absolute truths, especially in every instance. In practical terms, cognitive diffusion helps you recognize that a thought is simply something your mind is generating all day, every day, not a command, not something you have to follow. So you can remain present rather than automatically stepping away. Skill 2, willingness. Willingness means allowing the physical discomfort to be there without fighting it. You learn that you can feel and experience the urge to run or push someone away, and your feet can still remain firmly planted. Skill 3, values. Here we ask, what kind of partner, friend, or communicator do I want to be right now? If you value connection, you might choose a values-guided response like, I'm feeling overwhelmed, and I want to stay in this with you. This may seem small, but it's a very important step towards secure attachment in a relationship. This approach is often a strong fit if avoidance has become automatic for you. If you feel exhausted by this cycle of pushing people away and then feeling lonely. And if you want a paced approach that respects your nervous system exactly where it is today. I know we covered a lot of concepts here. If you want a deeper explanation of the ACT framework, the diagram I showed, and the specific tools you can practice between sessions, I wrote a full guide titled Healing Avoidant Attachment, an ACT-led guide to secure connection. I'll link it in the description below. And if you want to, leave a comment with one word or feeling that you experience right before you pull away from your relationships. And if you live in California or Virginia and you're ready to start this work with a psychologist, I provide secure online therapy across both states with limited in-person appointments in Folsom, California. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this video supported you today, I hope you'll check back in for more ACT-led, trauma-informed psychoeducation with me, Dr. Sheila Vidal of Next Mission Recovery. I'll talk with you in the next video.